Why are you doing this?
Paying off an old debt.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, let's talk toys. Let's talk about the Gamerverse Inner Demon and Mr. Negative 2-pack. This is an interesting little ditty. It's a funny little oddity. Do I like it? Well, we're going to find out right now. Yeah, it's okay. It's not great. Thanks for watching the review. Now, I think we can do better than that. Let's first of all take a look at the overall package. After I put the box down, I'm gonna pick it up again. These designs on the front with these renders, boring. Yeah, we need to brighten up these boxes a little bit. Give us some comic book artwork. Even, hell, I don't know, get something unique commissioned just for the box. I mean, look, you're selling these at a big old whack, so you might as well give us something a little bit nice that feels a bit more premium. Doesn't matter if we don't have the renders on the front, because hey, there's no guarantee the render is going to match the figures. Am I right? So as long as we got the info on the back, then that's fine, especially if it's actually accurate to the figure. Yeah, I'm going to keep on harking on with that. At least with this one, yes, yeah. Old suit body, ugly pins, tiny rubbish feet. Yeah, at least it's accurate. Well done there, guys. Not trying to bamboozle us this time. So the box is like, okay, but I think some more work and refinement on these plasticless packages would help a lot. So let's take a little look at the main man himself, Mr. Negative. And it's real old suit body now, and this is showing its age big time. Even more than I'm showing my age, at the ripe old age of 41 now. This thing needs a bit of an upgrade, it needs a bit of a spruce. I appreciate, like, reuse means we can get lots of different characters that we might not otherwise get. Yeah, that's fine to an extent. But if you're reusing stuff that really does feel out of date, then it's like, come on, son. You need to do better. Because this is an old body. I remember this on the was this the Chameleon body? Because if this was Chameleon, this was like 2015, 2016. This is freaking old, man. And it really shows. First of all, like these feet, these tiny little feet here, garbage. Absolute garbage. Cannot stand for love nor money. Yeah, eventually you can wangle and finagle him into a balance, but these feet have never been good. I remember Chameleon, he wouldn't stand up. I remember doing the head swaps with Jonah and they were just awful. Awful feet, and they're still using them to this day. I understand reuse, but can't you at least just upgrade the feet so you can stand them upright? Because no, these are so bad. Then, yeah, we've got the pins, and just, come on, dude, my kingdom. My kingdom for a regular human-sized suited body that just doesn't have pins. It's a little bit more upgraded, a little bit nicer. You gotta be getting on that soon. I'm sure you must be. Someone in the office is beavering away on a pinless suit body, and dude, all I'm saying is, hurry up.
We're waiting.
We're waiting. So if you can hurry up with that, that would be awesome, because this just shows its age, especially. Also, I find with the big old gaps in the arms there, like I've never liked that as a design. It's more prominent over this side on the left-hand side. Just this big circle. It looks like he's supposed to be a suited gangster wearing, like, you know, an Armani kind of suit, but it's like, yeah, what did your mum stitch that together?
Did your mommy buy him for ya?
It looks cheap. It looks really, really bad. So I'm not a fan of that. Wow, I'm ragging on this set already. Don't worry, there is a lot of stuff that I like. We're gonna get to some nice things. But first of all, I'm just gonna cover up the body here, or you know, just go over it, because yeah, this feels like an old action figure body, so that's kind of a shame. If we go on to the head though, Mr. Lee here. So those of you not familiar with Mr. Negative, he has a kind of a split personality sort of thing. This Mr. Negative is his alter ego that he's not that familiar with. So you've got Mr. Lee, who is the owner of the Feast shelter that looks after people, and he's a philanthropist and a lovely guy, and then he can snap into Mr. Negative, who is a vicious crime lord, and he has the powers of whatever the writer kind of needs. Basically, he can possess people with negativity and sort of make them enhance all of their negative traits, like me when I sit in front of the camera and review Marvel Legends. So that's his main thing, but also he has, like, you know, negative powers. You can zap and energy, and it's like, what does it actually do, mean, manifest as? I don't know. Whatever the end level boss needs to be able to do, that's what he can do.
And I have lots and lots of powers.
But essentially it's negative stuff. Which then brings me to this face sculpt, which, man, is not so much Mr. Negative, he's Mr. Ambivalent. Just, And look, I said when I did the Firelord review that I wished Firelord looked a bit more rah! And a lot of people said, whoa, Dave, slow your horses, cool your jets. That's not what Firelord looks like. If you actually bothered to go and read the source material, Dave, you would see that Firelord is always just stoic and solemn. And I'm like, okay, you know what? You got me there. I'll give you that.
You win this round.
But this dude, this is Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my wheelhouse. I know of where I speak. And I know that Mr. Negative, he can full on be like, come on, you little son of a biscuit. Whereas this is just like, I'm gonna manifest some energy on my sword and have some energy glowing on my hands. I'm clearly up for a fight, but you wouldn't know it to look at me. And even on the box, look at him, swinging his sword with a I'm coming to get ya, Mr. Negative kind of look. But here, just like, no, it's the Mr. Lee face with the Mr. Negative color scheme. So I'm not feeling that. I just ain't feeling that. What I will say, though, is the actual sculpting of the face, like the details, it seems kind of nice. I like the color. The fact that it's this kind of slightly bluish kind of hue to the face, that's nice, because it's not just black. It isn't. It actually feels like a photochromic negative kind of color. It's really good, guys. That's really, really good. I dig it. I like it. Then the hair, I think, is just plain white. There might be a teeny tiny bit of shading on the sideburns there. Kind of a reverse Reed Richards, where the sides are a little bit darker. So I think I can see that. I'm not imagining it. But yeah, it just feels like a missed opportunity. You could have done more. I think because I've been so blown away recently by the quality of the real scan face tech on Marvel Legends figures lately, that when I see a face that's kind of average, I'm like, that feels really average. Know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit of a shame. But besides that, he's okay. A lot of people like a static kind of neutral pose. So if you do, well, you're in luck. Then we've got the little wispy bits of energy here, which I almost lost. Because of course they come in these little paper bags inside the cardboard box, which it looks like trash when you bring it out. It really does. But hey, I'm an out-of-box collector, so, you know, it doesn't matter that much. But I almost lost these because I just didn't notice that they were there, scrunched up in the paper. So lucky I caught that one. So they add a nice little something, I guess, but it doesn't really, you know, it's not too essential to the figure. And the way I play about with his arms here, just like clipping them on, I just see these thin little elbows. They just look ugly. This is an old figure, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's a real old body. He's only got the one set of hands, which is fine. I mean, that's okay. And now he's got the big old sword as well, which I think looks a bit silly, to be honest. It's too big. It's too much. All this electrical energy, this negative energy crackling on it, like, that's okay. Like, it's good that you've got it, but it just looks too big. It looks like a giant wiffle bat he's got. I think a smaller, more considered amount. This is just, it's a lot. I think of Psylocke. Psylocke with her katana and the little windy bit of telekinetic energy that goes around it. I think that's more intricate, more subtle. This looks it's a bit silly. And also it doesn't match the face. This is a sword that's saying, I'm going into battle and I'm coming to get ya. And this face is like, or maybe I'm not. I don't know. So yeah, it's a little bit of a disconnect there. So on the whole, this figure is an okay Mr. Negative. All you Mr. Negative stans who are like, I will not go to my grave until I have a Mr. Negative on my shelf. Well, you're fine. You got one. But it's nothing to really get too excited about. But he's okay. Then we got ourselves Biggity Bam. the inner demon. And this is more of the selling point of the pack because there's so much fun to be had with the different head swaps and the guns and the weapons and all that jazz. So this body, I think, is the suited Logan body, which is good because it's a little stockier, a little bigger. This guy is more of a brute from the video game. And I love what we've got here. The main sort of selling point that differentiates him from anything else is the Oni mask. And we got 3. And all 3 of them, fantastic. I love these. I love the design. They really got, Hasbro, you put the thought and the effort into really coming up with cool designs and the sculpting. Like when I was saying Mr. Negative is kind of boring and dull with his face sculpt, well, you got 3 good heads in this pack. So that's something. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I've got my smiling, laughing one with the spikes on. That's just a wicked looking Oni head. But of course, also you've got the more kind of grumpy one with the bald head as well. And I love that we got hair and a bald head to really differentiate out the different troops that you can build. Because yeah, of course this is an army builder. That's a point we're going to get to later as well. I'm going to circle back to that. But yeah, love the big, he really looks like a triad type goon. A real mob enforcer. That's awesome. Then we got grumpy spikes. We got happy spikes and we got grumpy spikes. And I love that yin-yang kind of look they've got going on there. Really, really great. Double thumbs up. That's awesome. And then when you put these big heads, because they are big with the masks, on a bigger body, oh, that works fantastic. If they're just thrown in, this body in black, oh, that would have been bad. I would have trashed this set if they did that, but they didn't. You all dodged a bullet, guys. Whew, lucky for you. You don't want the wrath of model behavior coming down on you. You're going to have dozens of people watch this video, you know. So yeah, I think that works really well as an overall package and so many extras to, again, differentiate your army builders. Here we've got the machine gun with the nice little bit of smoke coming out the top. I love that little effect. I think it's so effective as an effect. It has a good effect. So that looks wicked. Got the machete. This is very much Punisher weapons pack, which is great. Got the baseball bat there, the aluminium, not aluminum, baseball bat. I'm just teasing. Then we got, I don't know what type of gun this is modeled off of, or if it's just like an imaginary gun. For me, this almost looks like RoboCop's Auto 9, which is awesome. I love this little gun here. And then we got 2 pew pew blast effects, which are nice, and another smoke effect. So that's wicked. And then we got 2 fisted hands as well. But I mean, come on, you got so many weapons, you want him holding all these weapons. So because this is a more modern suit body, I think it feels better than this old dude here. It still is crying out for a nice pinless one, again with better feet. These feet are still, it feels better trying to balance this guy. It really does. But still, I think we need to refine our suit feet, guys, is what I'm saying. But on the whole, as a package, this like this guy, if he was sold on his own with 3 heads and these weapons, that would be like the best army builder you've ever done. But unfortunately, you didn't do that, did you? No, you packed these 2 together, and that's the weirdest thing. And I know I'm not the first to say it, but why are you putting the main single guy with 1 army builder, but then with 3 heads? So if you want to use these other 2 heads, you got to buy 2 other 2-packs? Come on, son. That doesn't make no sense. That's really kind of odd. So basically, if you just want Mr. Negative, guys, go onto the Facebook groups, because people are selling this dude by the barrel full. Because my mate Dylan, he's a big time army builder. He's got like a dozen goons. So he's just been selling all these Mr. Negatives. That's kind of the name of the game with Marvel Legends. You got to keep the ones you want, sell the ones you don't, which is almost, I got to admit, it's kind of the fun sometimes. It makes the hobby more involved, or makes the hobby more of a ball ache, whichever one you want to consider it to be. I'm going to try not to be negative. Because that's the name of the guy. So yeah, if you want an army build, you got to, I just put a lot of these up for sale. I'm trying to think what other single suited characters you could buy. I'm thinking maybe Nick Fury from the Captain Marvel movie wave from a few years ago. Maybe you could get that suit body, which I think is just this suit body. But on the whole, it's just a funny thing that you've got an army builder who's in a 2-pack with a single character. I mean, we got the ninjas, the hand ninjas as single action figures. So why not Goon? I think that would sell really, really well. But hey, that's why I'm not in charge of Hasbro. Also, because I didn't sign a deal with the devil.
Just sign here. Careful, hot pen.
But mainly because I come up with good ideas like that. Yeah, well done, Dave. You're the first person to suggest that. That's why you watch Model Behaviour. But there you go. That's the gist on these two figures, so let's give them a ranking. And so for my final grade on this 2-pack, I'm going to give these guys a 5 out of 10. Now, this is kind of a funny one because it could have been higher because of all the extra accessories, but Mr. Negative feels like such an old figure, I really couldn't go higher. And that's kind of what I was thinking to myself when I was looking at these. I thought, if this Mr. Negative, if this guy here came out in 2015 and you saw him on the shelf, no one would look at him and go like, what kind of madness is this? This figure is clearly from the future. How did a future figure like this appear in the distant past of 2015, which is where I am now, which is the present? So the distant present? Why am I talking to myself? So yeah, the fact that this Mr. Negative looks like an old figure, I think like, you're charging modern prices for a real old figure. Can't give you more than a 5 out of 10. But this dude, if this guy was on his own, just a single release figure, 22 bucks or whatever, with all the heads and stuff, oh, mwah, chef's kiss. I'd give this guy like a 8 out of 10 for an army builder. So good. But being saddled in that 2-pack, it really detracts. But guys, that does it for my review of Mr. Negative and the Inner Demon 2-pack. What do you think about this 2-pack? Comment below, let me know. And, of course, if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you know what you gotta do. You gotta join the 6-1 clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. If you want to go one step beyond in supporting the channel, you can also do that. I'll tell you how. You can go over to patreon.com/displaying-model-behaviour. Toss a couple of bucks my way. You can enjoy all the exclusive videos on there, including my deep dive into the animated Spider-Man show from the 90s. We're going through the entire run, episode by episode, doing kind of like an As Told by Toys with clips of the show, and also me showing you all the different action figures that represent the different characters. With the advent of the new Spider-Man animated wave coming out, I thought this would be a really fun project to do. So you can enjoy that over on Patreon, or grab yourself a channel membership, because, yeah, what's the benefits of that now? Oh yeah, you can appear in the call-in shows, and you get the icons and more exclusive videos on there. It's a good time. And I would say get yourself a Model Behaviour t-shirt, but I'm not wearing one. So I need to get myself a Model Behaviour t-shirt as well. Where can you do that? You can do it at teespring.com. Check the link in the description below. Whew. Okay, guys, that does it for me. Thank you for watching. And until next time, keep displaying model behaviour.